Okay, here we are in Dover, Ohio let's see who this guy is. That's MuzzleMike. We have the mayor from Chicago, Chuck. And we have John, one of the Buckeye boys here. Had lunch at Shoney's. So we're going to head over to the Warther Museum and see what they have over there. So catch you later. Here we are at the Warther Museum.
Mill for 21 years. In his early 60s, he decided he wanted to carve the steel mill that he worked at during that time. Underneath is a mirror that shows all the interworking parts inside the steel mill there. Keep in mind, Mooney only had a second grade education. That's all the further his home education progressed. Now this is Mooney here on the left-hand side of the shearing press. And there's a picture of that on the side wall over here. Mooney's on the left-hand side wearing an apron with chain link on the apron. Now Mooney put the chain link on the apron so he could push the steel through the presses with his body, and that chain link would then protect it from the steel. Underneath are the boots he wore during the mill years. He put steel toe caps onto those boots long before their invention. Now this here is a little bit bigger block of wood, and Mooney would place 32 cuts into this block of wood. You have 1, 2, and 3 sets of pliers, all from one block of wood. Now over here is just a little bit bigger version of that. My grandfather made that with a chainsaw, so a little more shavings that day. Now this here is a little bit bigger piece of wood, this time walnut, much tougher to work with. And Mooney would place 82 cuts into this block of wood. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pairs of pliers, all from one block of wood. Well, now you can see the progression I'm starting to go with here a little bit.
That's the only pliers tree.
Really tiny.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started right here in the very center. This is the Great Northern. This was considered by many to be Mooney's masterpiece technically. And you'll see enough plumbing on this locomotive to give a plumber a nightmare. Also notice the script writing you see on the base of the carving there. That is Mooney's handwriting, carved out of ivory. And then he had to carve out that same exact shape into the wood there to press it in. Notice the logo of the Great Northern with the billy goat on it. That's not a sticker. That's actually ivory and abalone shell carved out, made to look like the logo, and that's inlaid into the ebony wood as well. And the one piece that I like to point out is the bell rope. It has 3 loops to it. It goes from the front of the engine to the cab. This was the most difficult piece on a locomotive for Mooney to carve. Reason for that, ivory is a lot like wood. It has a grain to it. So if you get it that thin, if you bend it or push it, it will snap. So Mooney had to carve out that shape out of the ivory to get that piece. He told everyone he saved these for Sundays because he could not swear on Sundays. And to right of me over here, this is the Erie. This is 9,500 pieces. I know this because Mooney kept very good detailed records in his diaries. And Mooney was a goal setter. He wanted to carve 1,000 pieces a month. If he didn't, his month was ruined. And before a carving was started, he would have a completion date for each carving. And this, he only missed it twice throughout his whole carving career. Behind And this here is the Empire State Express. This was the very first steam locomotive to break the 100-mile-an-hour mark. This happened in Batavia, New York in 1893. And this particular event happened at night, so Minnie wanted to make it a little more realistic, so he decided he wanted to put some lighting inside the cars there as well. Now the carving itself is 11,000 pieces. The bridge at base there is 4,000. The locomotive and the cars are 7,000. In the very back coach, you will see 4 gentlemen sitting around a round table. One's giving a thumbs up, saying that we broke the 100-mile-an-hour mark. Now, I mentioned before about Mooney and his goal setting and how he would have a completion date for each carving and how he missed it twice. Well, this is one of the 2 times. He told everyone the age, and there wasn't a historian on Mooney's tour and said, Mooney, you messed up. President Grant was never there. He was in Washington. He had too many things to attend to. Mooney just sat there for a second and said, well, with a poor man like that, the fool should have been there, so I put him there. Now over here, this is the Lincoln funeral train. I will say the best view is on my side of the carving. There's a certain detail that I always like to point out. You can only see from this side. Of course, today the president travels by Air Force One. Well, during Lincoln's time, they had their traveling train. And when Lincoln was assassinated, they turned his traveling train into his funeral train. Right from D.C. to Springfield, Illinois. In the center coach there, you'll see Lincoln lying in his casket. And with this being Mooney's idol, he didn't want to leave any detail left unseen. He wanted to use the highest quality materials possible. And the one detail that I always like to point out that you can only see from this side, in that center coach there, you'll see an eagle plaque on the outside. Look above the eagle plaque, look through the windows, look across the coach. You'll see a door on the far wall. Look up and to the right of the door, you'll see a little key hanging on the wall there. That key will fit into the door handle.